Greetings, greetings, all my dreamers and dreamettes. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. If you're new to the channel, you know what to do to the channel. Subscribe right now. Good vibes to all my dreamers and dreamettes out there. Hope y'all having that good energy. Starting your day off, you gotta keep your spirit up, keep your energy up. And that's what I'm here for. So we back again Friday. I got a lot to talk to you guys about. Just wait till everybody get in here, get everybody get in here so we can get this thing going. Feeling good today, man. Beautiful day. Even though in New York it's not as sunny as it usually will be. Like the air looks so clouded like. But you got to make the best out of it. But there's a few things I want to go over with you guys. That just got me thinking. Number one. So Garcia was caught so he fought Devin, and now you get caught for drugs. Now we all look. In life, we all learn. When you do things the right way, you get the right results. When you do things the sneaky way and gotta go behind or enhance things from doing things that's illegal, it always comes back to you. I was watching they did an interview with Devin, and he so humble, but he said some real they asked him if he wanted to fight him again. He said no, he doesn't want to fight him again. And I felt him. Like, why would you want to? A boxer is going into the ring, and it's his life in the ring. Anything can happen on both sides. This is the things that they agree to. So if one person is using some kind of steroids, drugs, well, of course the other person is at a disadvantage. This is what's been going on. It's not just in boxing. It's not just in sports. It's in life. People are just attracted to doing things the easier way or the more just automatic, like the quick results. It don't happen like that. And then you knock the guy down so many different times. I was telling my brother, that's what makes a true champion, at least in my eyes. See, when he hit the canvas and he stepped back up, that's the champion in him. That won't let him, he couldn't figure it out at the time. Like, why am I going down? I'm supposed to be on my feet. Why am I on the floor? And this is what happens because people do other things to get where they got to go, and you never know. So when it comes to a contact sport, I mean, this is 2024. I've been seeing boxing matches from, you could look back from way back in the 70s. And this problem has been there. Drugs in sports. Enhancement drugs taken in sports. And the biggest thing about that, the sad part about that, when you're addicted to winning and you use an enhanced drug, that means that every time you want to win, you're going to feel you have to go back to that drug. Like, I was making like a similarity between Wayne drinking lean and people saying that his music sounded better when he was drinking lean. And in my head, I'm like, so if that's the case, then you got to chalk it up to the lean. You might as well give the lean the Grammy, not Wayne. So you got to know who you are as a person, and if you can, it's in enhancement drugs. It enhances who you are, meaning that you already had that in you. All you have to do is work out to get to that point. But you want to enhance yourself and be there tomorrow, it's not going to work for you. That's what you call signing the contract with the devil. And I'm going to explain to you why. You signed the contract already. You spoke to the devil himself, and you said you want to win no matter what. You want to beat this guy no matter what, knowing that you didn't train, knowing that you didn't have the right skill, knowing that you could not compete against this guy. You asked the devil to say, I want to go in there no matter what. So he let you go in there. You said you wanted to win. He let you win. He didn't tell you how you was going to win. The devil's going to win in the end. That was the trick. Yeah, you won the fight, but you ain't win the fight. Shout outs to my boy T-Rex. You didn't win it. You didn't win the fight. Not in my eyes. I still see a champion that touched the floor and got back up. So we got you got to be very careful out there because people are more, if you notice about sports and just in general, people are more in love with the selling of the fight than the actual fight. You see more action in the person promoting the fight. They have more action outside of the ring, that it was like reality TV outside of the ring. And this is all the things that it takes away from the skill, the boxing skill. And that's why that fell into place like that. I would not fight that guy again. As a matter of fact, I don't think he should box until he get rid of that addiction that he has. He's not addicted to boxing. He doesn't love boxing. He's addicted to drugs, steroids, and all that stuff. That you become addicted to the drug, not the sport. You don't see Kobe, you don't see Jordan, you don't see LeBron, you don't see Carmelo, you don't see Curry, you don't see none of those guys. Obviously, you don't see none of them with any of the. You don't hear about these things. Like they don't. They it's skill. It's skill. It's who you are inside. And a lot of people want to skip the workout, and the workout is life. People are skipping the workout. And you want this like instant gratification on everything, but you're not willing to put in the right proper work. Just because you see the other person got there fast, he didn't even put in the right work. You just what do you want? You want to wait around and follow behind that guy until he crashed, until you realize that you're not supposed to go that route? It's common sense, man. That whole thing upset me because I watched the fight and I watched it over and I said to myself, you know what? Even if there was a rematch, I don't think he could beat Garcia. That's what I said. Because I seen the way he overpowered him, and now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I won't fight him either because he was so enhanced that he looked like a completely different fighter than when he was fighting Tank. It's safe to say if he used the same drugs that he used on this guy, he probably would have tried to do the same thing to Tank. It's unfair using these drugs to enhance the sport. You're not a sports player. You're disrespecting the sports. You're disrespecting the art of competition when you do things like this. That's what happens. So shouts out to Devin, man. You still the champion, and you still have a long way. Whether it's something that's written on your thing that says you lost one, if they don't take it back or not, you're always gonna be a champion because you're built like a champion. You have a champion heart. That guy was never a champion. He's just a contender. See, when in a room full of champions, you still need contenders to verify who you are as that champion. That's just how it goes. That's a sad thing. Just even going that it gave me a whole look on social media and how people want themselves to look on social media instead of how they actually are. It's scary out there. When you don't know who you are, you could find yourself in places where you would have never imagined doing things you would have never imagined, and you never that disrespect yourself because you haven't found your true potential. You can't go into the ring unless you know that you're gonna win. Every good boxer that steps in that ring does never thinks that he's gonna lose. What's the sense of going in the ring to compete if you think you're gonna lose? Does that make sense at all? What happens is people see past the sport, people see past the skill, they look past the coaching, they look past the upbringing, and they go straight to the money. And they say, you know what, I can do this too. You know what, I could fight anybody. I'll even take a loss in the fight because I'm going to get paid anyway. That's not the mentality to have as a boxer or any sport, even in hip hop. You're going in there to be the best. Anything you do, even if you make pencils, you going in there to be the best. Don't let nobody else tell you who they think is the best, this and that. You have to feel inside that you're the best. So when you come to that point where you feel like you're challenged on that, you're ready to go. That's what winning's about. It's a take it or leave it. There's no in betweens. A lot of people are skipping this, and that's why they're lost. That's it. It's not too much more. If you're gonna have to take anything to enhance anything, it shows that you don't have the heart enough to even see it through. It's like buying views. I heard like people buying views on YouTube. Not only is that dangerous to your channel, but you want people to look like a whole bunch of people is watching you. That's just you having this instant gratification when you know they're fake. What sense does that make? I don't care if there was one person watching me. I'm going to give it my all on that one person. It doesn't matter. Those days are over with the million views videos. Usually, the ones with the million views, they're not usually better than the smaller view videos. Those are things like these. You're going to find little jewels and stuff. Those are, if those videos been watched a million times, most likely you've probably seen it. And if you didn't hear about it, it's probably not important or doesn't serve your purpose. The things that you like that you could find yourself familiar with. We're living in the time where people, they don't know how to control their energy. There's so many things going on inside the home as well as outside the home. If you can't handle it, why go out there and fight? The first march, the first thing you stand for is your family at home. When you can handle that and get that structure, that's when you can go outside and help other families. If you can't help your own family, what the hell are you going outside trying to act like you Mr. Leader? Look, listen. You can't be like, it's like giving, like, you see a lot of people swear they know the female. They a lot of guys swear they know females, but they can't even keep it 100 with the one that back home. What is it? Love, sex? Which one? What are we choosing between? If you're in love with sex, then don't try to claim something. That type of stuff is short term stuff. That's the short term of love. That's like the tidbits. There's more to love than just that stuff. And you prance around like you're a player, like that's cool, disrespecting the people you have at home as well as your kids. What sense are you making? You're not a leader if you go out there and show yourself like you're just the toughest, disrespectfulest person, and you don't care about this, you don't care about that, you're not trying to fix this, you're not trying to fix that. All you're doing is just you're having like lost people follow you, looking up to you, and they're gonna be doing the same things to their partners. Is it fair? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I do believe, people they try to like twist around the truths in these times. It's like everything has become so hypocritical if you don't pay attention to close detail. Now you hear a lot of people saying, you know, you should. There is no age to rap. You can rap at any age. You can rap at any age. There's no limit to it, but you just have to rap your age. That's the difference. You can't be in your older years rapping like you in high school. You know how many years back that was? As a matter of fact, your high school probably didn't even have computers. You can't keep telling this story of your younger. What about the middle years? What about the years you fell in love? The years. What about that? The high school years are for younger folks. That's what they rap about. If you're a grown man still talking about your high school years or your love, you haven't balanced your life. You probably don't even know what love is because you're still searching for that same thrill. And those days are over. That thrill has been passed on, should be passed on to the people behind you. And your new thrill should be something more uplifting at a different level. So when they get there, they can look at that and have something else to go up to. What the hell are you in the same club with them for? Those days are over for you. You know you ain't supposed to be in there. You got wifey at home and you in the club acting like you tossing it up. Who you tossing it to? It's like you what are you doing? That's the difference. If you want to rap, make music, music is more than just, it's spiritual. So if you're at an older age and you make music, I want to hear that. It's deep. I want to hear that. But if you're coming with something that it's just like, what are you doing? Why are you rapping and talking about you in the streets, this and that? You still in the streets at that age? For real? And you up here glamorizing that and you feel good about it? Man. Another thing I saw, did y'all see today? It's this is gonna be all over. This is gonna be viral all over the place. Okay, now there's a girl. I'm gonna start it off with. I didn't believe her full story, but there's a student that got beat up by another student's parents. Now she was the first. She was new to the school, and she said when she went to the school, she like the girls, they was, I guess she was beefing with them, and they ended up fighting and they beat her up, and then she called her mother. You know where that went. Her mother came on the bus, started beating her up. Okay, okay, okay. Hold on. Anybody that's new to a school, you're not going to be the one to pick the fight. You're trying to get to know people. So that little part right there, I was like, But the parents, some of these parents, like I always say, they need to go to school. I'm talking about sit in the class with the kid. You need some education too. There should be some. We need more. We need a separate school for just maybe just a family value school, or at a certain age, if they just to pick up just certain basic traits for the kids. Traits that we all, no matter what religion that we all, we all worship, or what religion we believe in, we should all have, every religion has basic traits. Every family, there's basic traits that we all need to abide by as just people, humans. And a lot of these kids are missing this. Because now we're finding out that adults are fighting. See, it sounds crazy when you hear like a mother fighting for her daughter and she's in there fighting and beating up on another young girl. Yes, it's wrong. It's completely wrong. But then it sounds a little more, I would say, accepting if you said it was a son, being that how much we see in the news with these kids with the guns, this and that, even though it's still wrong. And you know the reason why is, like I told you before, social media. We're like all in the same school here. Like kids are in our, everybody's seeing everything. So parents fighting with kids is back in my look. I don't want to sound old, but to hit a kid and you wasn't somebody, you couldn't lay your hands on just anybody's kid like that. I'm sorry. And in these times, it feels like it's seeming to be more acceptable because of the behavior we see the kids going through. But the reason why you're not supposed to put your hands on them, because they're going through it. They're making their mistakes on camera, and other people are chiming in because they're seeing it. It's like it's that old if that was me, what would I do? You probably end up in the same way, but it's just that when everybody chimes in, it doesn't look good. So that's the depiction of how our kids are being presented, and how you can look at it in two different angles of that mother protecting her kid and that mother going into the fight a little girl, or beat up on a little girl because she beat up her kid. Because there's some, and you, it's such a thin line, because parents love you, love your kid that much. You willing to lose it for your kid. You love your kid that much. I understand that, and I get it. I understand it. But at the same point, the wrong comes way before that fight even happened. They're not being. It would be even scary for me if I reversed in time and put myself in this time at a younger age. It would be a little. I feel myself. It would be a little different and scary. School would be a little different. It'll be a little different. All the people I grew up with, they were, for the most part, they were all good people. I mean, people have their things that go on at home that you don't really know when you're in school. And, you just see your friends face, and they don't really get to know you until maybe like college. But that shell around you is because you're learning how to discipline. You're learning how to get some intake on what's going on in the world. This is where you're learning your most. That's why everybody loves that time. But this is where you have to differentiate that time from where you're at now. In these times, we see kids more in fighting. We see marching, and so even let's turn it around and go to sex. I feel that the pedophile, all that stuff is going on. Now we see like teachers, they sleeping with kids. I know what's going on back in the day. I know what's going on. Without saying a word, I know it was going on. But we never knew it was going on this much. Now it's very easy for a guy, because we can knock down something that's older. It happens. But when you dealing, and if you, my mom ain't gonna like me knocking down something that's older. If the mother's not gonna like her son knocking down something older, the father might be a little cool, but the mother's not gonna go for that. That's not gonna happen. It's never gonna feel good. So it's still, and that's because of social media. We on the same platform. You don't know. I mean, come on. Look what's going on. There's no line. Is everybody's in this one spot and we all in the same damn club. And after a while, nobody's gonna want to dance on the dance floor because everybody's gonna be staring at everybody trying to figure things out. And that's where we at right now. We don't know. You don't know anymore. You see a parent beating up a young girl, and before you would have said, "Why are you putting your hands on somebody else?" Now you got to think, "What did she pull a gun out on you? What's going on?" You don't know anymore. It's crazy. I hope y'all see that. I hope y'all see how many people are using war tactics to try to solve problems that's not even gonna get solved. It's so easy to say, okay, you versus him. You go over there, you go over here, ding, ding, go. It's easy to do that. It's kind of hard to like clean up the destruction and the stuff that's left behind. You know, blood and destruction and stuff. That's the stuff that's hard to get away. You can't erase it. You know. Yeah, we love to see the fight, but then hit somebody and something happens. He passes away. Now it's like, oh, now it's trauma. No, it was trauma when it started. Your mind was used to you ready. Your mind took in, okay, this is what I'm gonna see, this is what I expect to see. And that's why we find ourselves on this social media. It's like a wave of you can find yourself going down a wave of depression because you're seeing so many things happen, and the intake is just messing you up because you're like, I don't want that to happen to me. I don't want that to happen to me. I'm gonna stay away from that or those type of people. And all of that is all because of your perception and what's your intake. Got to look at things different and try to find the solution and why people do the things they do. Once you find that part, you will be able to see things a little bit different than how they're being presented. You know? Usually the guys is telling, the jokes in the back of the class or just cracking jokes on everybody. It usually means they have some, social issues or some problems at home. So once you know that, you can be like, oh, I get it. You could combat you could now you can you can see where that's coming from, and then you can structure yourself and place yourself in a way where it's not offensive to you. Now you're taking out an intake, and now you can recognize everybody that wants to disrupt, and that's how you find your peace. When you know yourself and you love yourself, it opens other people to loving you, because they know they can see your true self. They feel your, when somebody say, "Yeah, I just feel that person." That's where that type of stuff come from. It's not like I just feel I'm feeling her because she looks good. That's not how it. That was made on like as it went down and it filtered down. When you say you feeling somebody, it's because like you feel something else more than what's presented in front of you. I feel like I'm connected to you. Wow, I never knew we had this in common, and that's how real relationships start. Don't you ever know people are right now? They're saying, "I'm looking for love. I'm looking for this that." You hear the words soul mate. I'm looking for a soul mate. A soul mate is not outside, it's inside. Soul, the soul mate, somebody that can match what you have in here, not out here. That's not a soulmate. That's just a partner you're gonna be sleeping with, and y'all have the same maybe outlook on things for that moment in time. But when you feel the love, that's your soulmate. Everything else is just like a revolving wheel or something. It's just like a wheel just keeps going, 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 going until you finally stop and realize, oh, wait, I felt that. What was that? Who are you? I like you. And that's what builds your love. And you can take a healthy relationship from that point on and go. It's never too late to love either. That's why you see a lot of people falling in love at a later age, and their best love. It's the best relationships because they know who they are. That's the reason why they went into that, because they understand themselves better than they did in the past. Don't you know it's a difference, like especially in relationships. You see a lot, like a lot of the I see a lot of the young dudes now. They're a little more like aggressive towards the females, and I think that came all because of social media and just the whole switch in between females have getting more having a bet more light on themselves instead of just sexual, you know. And I'm like, why these guys are very aggressive towards these chicks. I never was really that aggressive towards chicks like that, you know. And some of them liking it too. I'm like, man, they training themselves to just like whatever's dished out to them. And I'm like, that's not the way, because eventually what happens is when they find their true self, it's hard for them at that point to identify what a true man is. And that's when they get that little stuck problem. And you only and you know, love doesn't, it's not, you know, a lot of people like to say, you know, 30, after 30, 40, you could fall in love tomorrow and spend a lifetime with somebody. It's not about that. It's about actually knowing, oh, this is the person I'm gonna spend a lifetime. Could you imagine that? Like if you could actually see the person that you could spend a lifetime with, and you, oh, it's you probably won't even care about social media because you'll know it's definite. But the thing about it is you have to, when you know who you are and your definite self, that's what makes you find that. You start to see everything different. Break stuff down, and you start to like build with other people. Oh, your relationship went that way. Why? Oh, this way. You start to realize everybody has trouble in their relationships. It's how you dealing with that person. You know, like that old fake saying about, oh, it has to be this big, or she has to have this size ass, and all that stuff is all like made up. And I'm probably thinking that's probably the dude made it up. That's probably some male made up stuff. Because if you really know a female, females are always willing to work with you. They're nurturers. So every female that, even if you, like if a woman loves you or a chick loves you, she'll do anything to make you feel as comfortable as you want to feel. She reads your heart before you even know yourself. That's a true lady right there. When she sees something on somebody else and says, you know what, I'm gonna get that for my man so he can look this way, that's a nurturer. It's not the woman that's gonna stand in the kitchen for like 10 hours. That's not it. That ain't it. Times change and those type of things change. But that bond and knowing somebody, that never changes in relationships. It never changes, at least in the good ones. A lot of us, we didn't have a mom and dad at home, but we had some kind of connection between our mom and dad, you know? And as you get older, you're supposed to don't go down the same path, find the wrongs and rights in that, and then you figure you craft it out to yourself, but don't leave that weighing on your head. It has nothing to do with you. It really doesn't. Legacy is not, it's not really, love is like the thing that holds up your legacy. Because the love a person has for you, it keeps you in mind. It keeps you in thought. And legacies are the best way, the old school way of keeping a legacy, which I still think works today, it's just write it down, keep it in the book. No computer, none of that stuff is gonna, that all that stuff could disappear. When you put something in a book, it means everything. You might not be a book reader, but there will be people who read that book. That's the difference. It can't be tampered with. And if it is tampered with, like a page ripping or something scratched out, it can be figured out. We're human. It can be figured out. I feel like the reason why we're going through so much turmoil right now is because as human beings, we've been very laxy-daisy of letting technology overlap us. Yeah, technology is supposed to be a little bit in front of us, but not overlapping us. This thing is overlapping us. When we were kids, we thought we'd see cars that fly. Cars are not really flying. You want to know why? It's not that we can't build a car to fly. It's the fact that we can't trust people in the air to do the right thing. That's just sad. So you mean to tell me the evolution of a human being to reach our highest capacity is being stopped because of what? Fear, money, tradition. One of the biggest words used that holds people back. Tradition, tradition, tradition. What tradition are you talking about? Start a new tradition. Tradition keeps you holding back to other people's mistakes that you probably don't want to make again. Traditional this, traditional that. Understand, if it's tradition, understand what the full tradition is. Understand why it became a tradition. Not just the end parts of just the time. Time doesn't just make it just a tradition. It's tradition. It has to be something that works, that worked for a certain amount of time, that makes you that you can put your trust into. Say, you know what? Traditionally, I feel like that's something that we're gonna continue. It's almost like a legacy, but not. And we have to find ourselves there. We have to find ourselves there. Yeah, I yes, I'm a fashion designer. There goes my brand, Inspired by Dreamzzz. Yes, I'm making. As a matter of fact, everybody that was hitting me up in the chat on the website, you guys, I'm getting that settled now. I know you guys have questions. Put them in my YouTube. Any questions you have on sizes, anything on my Instagram, and I'll get right back to you. But I'm usually here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 a.m. Just keeping you informed. Yes, I'm a fashion designer, but my whole goal is to inspire people as well as, my fashion is a whole lot more to me as far as, who I am as a person and how I can help other people to get where they got to go. So that's what the whole thing is about. So if you see the fashion, yes, I am a fashion designer, and you guys, I would love for you guys to support me and put some drip on. It's preppy streetwear, and it just comes from my background, how we grew up. Some of you guys probably in here probably went to my school, St. John's Prep. So we always have like I try to keep a little bit of the stuff that I loved and try to keep it with me along the way, and putting into fashion. I love doing that. I just love designing things, but I also like putting you guys on just the things that come to my head and I think about, and I'm happy that you guys have some kind of way of kind of getting a little understanding of me, and that's the reason why I do the 9 a.m. and that's the reason why I come up and I wake up for you guys, because people are losing it and just find themselves in a place lost, and there's no going back. There's no going back. There's no going back. Some deals, when people are so scared of when they hear devil, 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 devil. But it's a positive, there's a negative, there's a God, there's a devil. And you have to know how to accept both to understand what's going on. A lot of people think there's going to be a guy in a red suit. That's what they mean. No, it's you not presenting your best self, putting yourself in the way of harm, putting yourself in to do things that doesn't serve your best person, your best purpose or your being. That is what this is all about. So you signing a bad contract, you doing something that you don't really feel necessarily fits you, just to do something to get somewhere where it's not right or it's hurting somebody else. These are things that's considered under that category. So don't get spooked out when people say it. Some people get spooked out about karma. Like I always tell you, there's good karma too. And that's the reason why we don't, as good people, we don't have to film the things you do for other people. There is a reward for that. The reward is not from other people outside that you're helping. The reward is from God. So when you help other people, you don't have to go out there and expect, oh, this person should do this back for me, this and that. The reward that's coming back to you is from God. Why are you showing everybody else what you're doing for somebody else? Doesn't that seem a little, didn't you think for that person that could be a little slightly embarrassing, but they're just taking it just because they need it? Think for other people too. Think if you was the other way around, how would you want it to be, and then serve that purpose? Stop trying to do what everybody else does just to show people that if you have to do all of this and just look into the camera to act like you're a good person, you're not a good person. Good people don't really have to try hard to be a good person. That just doesn't make sense. Good people have bad days, like we all do, but it doesn't turn them into a bad person. That's the difference. So you got to be mindful of who you are and who you're presenting yourself to be while you're out there in the public's eye, or you turn on these things and press record, because a lot of people, they understand that stain can last with you forever. It could. Look at Kanye. We can't even, before those Yeezys, I've never seen a black man compete with Nike. It ain't easy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not here to say who's better, who's this, who's that. I ain't seen people compete with Nike, and Kanye went for it. He went for it. He went for it. Whether he tried to get a deal with them, and they told him he could only do a certain amount, he jumped off and ran to Adidas, tried to do the same thing. You competing, but you don't have the heart to compete. You got the mouth. You got the mouth. You got the mouth. You could scream the loudest out of everybody. I mean, you could talk over people. You wouldn't even give people a chance to talk. Yes, you could. You could. You are the best at disrespecting somebody, but you ain't got the heart. You don't have the heart to say, you know what? I'm gonna sit here and do it myself. You have the eyes to say, and the money to say, I'm gonna go get that person to do it, that person to do it, that person to do it. Every time you go get that person to do it, you didn't figure it out for yourself. You can't do it for yourself. And you know you can't. You think, and not everybody's gonna know this name, but the hip hop heads will. You think Jay Dilla would have had to worry about that? Man, you guys, if you don't know, Jay Dilla was this guy. He was amazing. This guy was like a magic with production. For the ladies and fellas listening, this guy when he makes beats, he used to make the beat like talk, like actually make the beat sound like it's talking to you. So by the time you jump on the beat, you already it pulls the words right out of you. That's amazing. Go look up Jay Dilla. You don't even need lyrics on it. That's how powerful Jay Dilla's beats were. You couldn't take it away from him. Every time if you hear it once, you'll never forget hearing his sound again. He didn't need to go get a whole bunch of people, this and that, to put this together, to put that. No, it comes from in here. And that's the reason why you hear a lot of rappers. Okay, so the first rapper I've heard was Jay-Z that he doesn't write because it was coming from in here. Now everybody else that tried and said, you know what? No, I don't want to write too because I want. That is like some people found that they had it too, that they didn't have to write to make their music, but then other people turned it into like I'm not gonna write to save time. I just want to knock it out and punch me in, punch me in. By the time you finish that, what are you trying to sell people? Mumbo jumbo. What does this mean? Like, what is when you came that day when you was drinking, when you came in, you was drunk as hell. You came in here, you screamed on your baby mother, you screamed on your ops, you threw anger in there. You didn't realize that if you structured yourself, wrote it down, and you looked at it, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna leave this one out and maybe talk about this like this instead of talking about her like that. You know, there's a difference in that. Maybe you could and put it like this. The process of you writing it down, that's not the big deal. It's how you deliver it. Because you gotta understand there's people that's writing it down and still can match what a person, you know. It's not about that. It's the final product. It's the final product. Is it authentic or not? Even if you're working as a musician, it's your brand. Is your brand authentic? Was it built on lies or was it built on the truth? Was it built on all cap or was you in the booth? You tell me. Because I'm gonna try to support it, but when I feel like it doesn't match up to what I believe is true potential or something that I could be like feel, then it's out of there. I can't. That's it. That's the music that doesn't resonate with the audience. Come on. This is what's been going on, man. People have been taking the easy route, and life ain't easy. Life ain't easy. Sometimes you have hurdles that you have to jump over. That's gonna put you back like 10 steps. It just is what it is. If you can't get past these parts, then what makes you think when you get up here, if somebody trip you, fall away, how you gonna get back up there? You ain't gonna be able to get back up there. You gonna give up at that point. So don't let nobody fool you. Even if you take your baby steps to doing anything is learning more. You're paying attention to detail. I pay attention and be mindful of the people that just talk over people. They don't want to hear nothing because they want you to hear what they feel like they're right all the time. Stay away from those people. Try to be around people you can learn from. So I'm trying to drop something for you guys because everybody just think they know everything. Me, I'm continuously learning every day. I don't feel like I know everything. I don't even know half of this stuff that's going on, but I'm aware that it's going on. That's the difference. We seeing nowadays everything includes a gun and sex nowadays. Peep it out. Peep it out. And you know what that is? War and pleasure. Pleasure keeps you numb from what's really going on, and war keeps everything in destruction. Me versus you. I'm better than you. Oh, my skin is darker than yours. Oh, I'm too light. Oh, she got a bigger butt than you. Oh, she look better than you. Oh, she younger than you. Oh, he too old. Making no sense. No sense at all. It's nonsense. That's why I look at it. Nonsense. People, they talking about all this mental health. Guess who's the ones that y'all? You gotta tell them like y'all's the one that making me go crazy. Telling me all this nonsense, but I know this ain't true. I gotta hear this all day. Y'all the ones adding on to my damn mental health. Talk about some Diddy. Right now, Diddy, he fighting his own case. You know, it's crazy. And that's because perception met reality at these points. I'm telling you. How could you expect the people to know how these people are living? And we're only fans. There'd have been times ago where I'm like, dang, a lot of celebrities I wanna, I would love to sleep with, you know? But then you grow up out that. Like if you can't connect with somebody or find some similarities, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? What are you doing? A lot of these people don't even know what love is. You know what love is because you want it. You want it. You want it. You want it. You sitting there and you watching other people with this fake artificial love, and you want the real thing. So why praise that fake stuff when you know what the real thing? At least you know it ain't that. You know it ain't that. You can't tell that all the people that with all these fake relationships, they don't last. How long do they last? Yeah, they look good together, this and that. They're looking like they match, and they looking like they never argue. They're looking like it's all about the money. They take the trips, eating the best of food. They missing out the little parts that you have to love your partner for, the mistakes that they make, that you just have to go with their decision. Even if you might feel some other way. Just go with their decision just to make the 50-50 between you. That connection is all lost. They don't have that. They on the go. I gotta go. See you later. Yo, when I get up with you, we go. It's gone. You got no time to make love. You're only having sex. Those are two different things. You're sitting in bed. You guys don't even actually know each other. You hardly got pictures together. But you want us to believe that that's true love. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You think us as people watching don't know what that is? Come on now. Not everybody crazy. Now you could fool the youngins and they have a different sense of what a relationship actually is supposed to be because they're supposed to. They're learning as they go. But as an adult, you should know better. You should know better. You should know better. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You don't want to be, and I have to use his name because it's not calling people out, but it shows you an example of you don't want to make like a Benzino. You know, you say a lot of crazy stuff, but don't that hurt you? That hurts your daughter? That don't make you feel no way? That's my whole thing. It's like you have to love something besides yourself. You could always tell selfish people. I'm telling you. Like if you know your daughter's feeling some kind of way with you just being in the spotlight, you can't just chill. It ain't like you was on the charts going crazy. You can't just lay back and watch your daughter experience her. You got to be like Diddy behind his son and dancing and all that. You can't just let them do what they got to do and grow. No, you want to be there. And you ain't even right. Half of the stuff you saying ain't even right. It's disrespectful and you don't really have a good eye for things. I don't know if it's the booze. I don't know what you do. I can't really put it on you, but it just looks weird. You're always in these situations. You find yourself like, this is you got like, I'm hearing that you had in the past got shot at your own funeral. What kind of, you know, these are things that the young folks were going through that they shouldn't be going through, that you're going through at an age. It's like, you don't check yourself at that point. Like, hold on, I'm too old for this. Because there's nobody out there that's too tough to not get killed. I'm just keeping it 100. It's not. This is not what we see on the movies. This is like all that movie stuff is cool, and we've seen some past beefs and things went a certain way in the past, but now with social media, it's more like crash out. This is not like a beef. This is like, I'm gonna lose it all because this person did this. It's almost like saying, you know what? I'm gonna end it here, my life and his life. That's the outcome. You're not gonna get away with it. And even if you do, let's say you get away with it in a human form. Inside you didn't get away with it. You didn't get away. You still gotta answer the big man. That's where the karma and all that other stuff start coming in, and then you have people out here that you trying to change yourself. Do not interrupt God's work or the devil's work. If he already signed the contract, why the hell you going in there and trying to erase it? You gonna put yourself in his way. You don't know what these people are doing, so you don't even know who you're trying to say he's not like this, he's not like that, but you don't really even know these people. You getting in the way of the contract he signed and the mistakes he made. You don't get in front of other people's karma. You got your own business to deal with. That is none of your business. That happens with God, whether you like it or not. These are things that has to happen so we can have some balance as human beings. Or then we'll be on a scale again where the females will be looked at down here. Up here is unbalanced. God is doing all of this for balance. The more we keep taking advantage of it, the more destruction will come. The more we start to realize and start breaking stuff down and start working together, that's when we'll find the unity. It's common sense. You want to go over there and build your boat. He wants to go over there, build his boat. She's going over there. He's going over here. She's doing this. Nobody has unity. What if I need a little wrench? I gotta yell all the way over there to get it. He's gonna throw it all the way over. It don't make sense. It don't. Now, about that. Okay, so the Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I feel like Drake is gonna drop today, y'all. It's a Friday. Drop it today for the weekend. Let it go all the way through. Maybe let it sink in or something. I don't know. So far, I'm still feeling like with Kendrick's last song, because I even on the listen back, it's like, yeah, he got, the fight's not over, but yeah, he got that. And people have to take it in. I see you, and here's the thing too. You're gonna in every battle, you're gonna have people that's just sticking to the person they like, and they're just gonna be on that person. It only becomes fair when the people that's non-biased judge it. So if you're a big fan of like Drake and you are a big fan of Kendrick and you don't see him ever losing and you're never gonna see him losing your head, you're not really being counted as far as just judging the whole battle. You're more of a fan that's just like looking at it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's kind of like going into a boxing fight and then you're the person that you betted on to win. But if it doesn't go out that way, can you actually judge it and say, you know what? I think that person. That is what a non-biased. Because I like more of Drake's music than I have like Kendrick music. But the stuff that I do like in Kendrick music, it's just so heavy. It sits there. It kind of like sits there with you. It's like a really great book with just short chapters. Really great book, short chapters. Whereas the other book has pictures in it, Drake has pictures, things to take you through a little longer, but it all equals up to the same. So right now I have Kendrick still ahead in this little battle right here, and I feel like, this is the one of the only ones that it's not really that bad of energy. Once we got to the roots of this whole thing, I feel like he could drop another one. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna. I'm not gonna just be waiting there just to, if Drake comes with something that's really fire that knocks it out, I'm gonna say it. Hey, it is what it is. It's not like people are saying. I heard somebody say, "Oh, it's not like I don't think Drake could come back from this." What are you talking about? It wasn't like that crazy. It wasn't that crazy. It wasn't that crazy. And even the stuff that Drake made to it, it wasn't that crazy. These both of these guys have higher potential. They can battle on a higher, strength as far as like just lyrics and stuff. This is like round one to me. It really feels like round one. When we get to like round 5, 6, when they're running out of breath and they're just throwing like one or two jabs and maybe a LOL and a couple memes on the gram after all the, then we can say, you know what, but we still early in the fight. We still early in the fight. So I'm still waiting to see more and see what else is gonna come out of this. And it could challenge. Not only can it make Drake and Kendrick have better music, but it shows other people that's coming up. Oh, this is how they like it. This is how it went down. So if this should ever happen to me, the same thing I was saying before. This is how I want to take it because that's how people naturally find themselves. You know, if they end up in the same way, this is how they want it to go. So everybody's on, we're waiting. What do you guys think? You guys think it's gonna drop today? I think from before Monday. I'm saying before Monday, I feel like Drake is gonna drop something off, and I feel like this time around, Kendrick is gonna drop something right after him, like just to let people know, like, nah, hey, hold that too. You don't think I'm gonna be waiting, giving y'all a week's wait or 2 weeks wait? I feel it's gonna go like that. That'd be a nice little exciting weekend for content creators and the whole hip hop culture in general. I feel like it's bringing more light to the game than it's bringing. Shouts out to shouts out to y'all, man. Love y'all, man, for real. But I feel like that's how it should go. I feel like if you're gonna take it that route, like a back and forth, give us a few rounds, man. People don't want to. Even in the Mike Tyson fights, yeah, he knocked him out in the first round. But I mean, people didn't even get ready to take a sip of their soda or popcorn. We want to sit down, relax. Oh, this is what's going on. Cause for the most part, what I do love about this battle, people like both of them. People really like both of them. There's a side of a person, you have to understand we all have similarities. So there's a side of us where we feel like we want to celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. And just celebrate for the things that we have, celebrate for life as we know it, and just where we at in life. And that's when the Drake comes in and the feel good music comes in. We need that. That's uplifting. And then there's a point where, as Kendrick, where he's pointing out, where you find those little who you are as a person. Why are you here? Your purpose of serving. It lands different. It totally lands different. But they both are needed. They're both needed. We like both of you guys. Like some of the rappers that I like, I don't want to hear their club music. I just want to hear them when I'm maybe designing or just to. It's everything has. I think everybody has a different space. People have been clogging up the same spaces all the time because hip hop has never opened other places where people can just enjoy hip hop in a different way than the club. It's not everybody that enjoys clubs. Like some people are claustrophobic. They don't want a whole bunch of people around. Some people like intimate. We have to make more venues, more things to do around hip hop besides just going to the club to celebrate it. We need more places to celebrate it in different forms. And I'm trying to come up with like an example just to throw off the back. It's kind of like how you can take comedy from on the stage to the movies, and even if we should have been attacked after we seen Tupac and even 50 Cent so successful, Fredro Starr, these are the guys, Ice Cube, Common Sense, even Beyonce was acting. These are people that they seen music is their love, but they seen another way of interjecting to and grabbing an audience that loves music but still putting into movies. It's like you have to take the music. The world is a big gumbo. Life is a big gumbo, and you have to entertain people in places where they like to be entertained at. If as a business, I more as much as people like to say boss this and that, I more look at myself like I serve people. So I do it for other people. So I want to be your best server. I want to be able to, when you want something, I want to be able to be there to get it. A boss doesn't answer to that type of stuff. So when you play the boss role, your company never really grows because you're not really even the boss yet. Like, what are you bossing up on? Why are you bossing up on these people that are supporting you? They're only trying to help you. The best thing you should do is just grow with them. If like me, I'm a new brand, so I grow with the people. So like if you buy a hoodie, I really want to see how you feeling it, how you looking at it. So I might take a peek on your page, or if you want to send me a picture and I'll try to, because I want to find out, wow, you like the hoodie. I like the way you styled it. I'm still learning as I go. I've been doing it 13 years and I'm still learning because you never stop learning. The more you learn the people who love you, to support you, the more you learn how to serve them and make them feel good. If you're just thinking about yourself, then you don't care what colors the people like that shop with you. You just want them to buy because it has a high price and it's maybe caught a wave and people are buying it. But that's not really that cool, is it? I mean, it's cool to see like your favorite celebrity wearing something. But when it's your favorite celebrity, like say like okay, say I love Cardi. Say Cardi B. Say Cardi B wears a t-shirt. But you see her in the t-shirt and she really feels and looks good in it. That right there attracts you to them. But what if when you put on the t-shirt you don't feel as good? Maybe you just loved Cardi. Maybe you just love Cardi. You gotta want it for yourself. And that's how you can get that similarity. Like if you like, oh, I love pink too. And you throw it on, you feel good. Oh, now you're rocking. Now you feel good. You know, you gotta really love it inside before anybody else loves it. And that's what I try to do, with my fashion. I want people to love my clothes, so I want to take people's insight on it. But how's it make you feel? Oh, you look good in it, guy or girl. Oh, you're handsome. Oh, because these are the things that make people feel good. I already I already felt good when I made the clothes and the design. Now it's time for me to make you guys feel good, not boss you up. People come in here and they just like the first thing they jump to, oh, I'm a boss, I'm a boss. And it makes people feel so like here, like what so why that's the reason why you're talking to me like that. Or that's the reason why you threw the money up. I just handed you that. I just bought a hoodie from you yesterday and now you got the money on the gram like going crazy. I guess I see where the money's going. It's like, huh? What if when you what if when you buy a hoodie you see oh they y'all just dropped something new? Oh, he's putting his money back into his company. I could tell. I just bought a hoodie and he just dropped the new colors. That's when you kind of see the passion what people have because anybody can sell anything. If they don't have any passion behind it, who's to say when are they gonna stop and disappear tomorrow with your money? It doesn't make sense. That's why you see a lot of people. I just tell them they just selling merch. If you're selling like anything that has to do with somebody's lifestyle, it's a responsibility that comes with it. If you're gonna say you're selling streetwear, preppy wear, whatever wear, you stick to that, no matter what's in style. I don't care if people are walking and their clothes are lighting up. Stick to what you got to stick to. You know why? It's because people are gonna stick there with you. They like that stuff. You change it now, what happens to them? The people that supported you from the beginning and liked how you brought it. What happens to them just because you want to get a new audience because that's the now thing. And that's what drives clothing brands to the dirt. Because you always have to remember if some people like growing, it's not you think in these times nobody can grow with Louis Vuitton, nobody can grow with Gucci. Those things already grown. They're growing up clothes. They're growing up clothing brands. Now picture you grow with somebody and they make it to that. You of course you're a part of it. You think you're not a part of it? You've seen it from the beginning. And that's what makes you that attachment right there is it's priceless. There's no amount of money you could if you grew up with something and you and all those years you grew up, you could be across the world. You'd be in the airport and you see that hoodie. Wait, hold on. I remember that when I was he's still rocking. I'm picking that up. How much is it? 100. You know what? I'll take it. You feel good because you can trust in that. You seen him. He was right there in front of you. When you had questions, he answered them for you. He was right there. It's not the invisible designer in the back that you don't even know. By the time you realize it ain't just one person that did it, they got the design from him. He worked this out. He put that there. He took it from him. He took it from Dapper Dan. You don't know what's going on. Now you're like, oh my goodness, what am I wearing? Don't question yourself. Not now, over some clothes. You should have been doing that before you put it on. These are the things that make you find yourself as a person. Because once you find yourself as a person, you're gonna want to put the best stuff on to feel like the person you feel like you are. You love yourself so much you could throw on anything and feel good. Because feeling good has nothing to do with what you're wearing. That's just the perception. But if you can match how you're feeling, that's a conversation in itself, right? I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Let me see. What is it called? Berry Melody. These come in the big pack. Y'all know. Y'all be going to BJ's and whatnot. Y'all know about these little juicies? And another thing, remember I told you about the food and how every time and every day in the news I'm seeing like they're putting like poison in food. The other day I seen beef. Now they don't want in New York. They recalling beef from. They're giving you a date of a certain time if you bought the meat a certain. I'm like, huh? That's irresponsible. That's an irresponsible business person. Like that's an irresponsible boss. Whether you're supposed to, that's like I have a like a say I order like my manufacturer send me a bulk of hoodies and they're all spelled incorrectly. And I just put them up there and then when you guys get it, it's spelled wrong and you're like, oh no, I'll get back to you. So what? I mean, this is in house. You should have before you sent it out. What do you mean? What do you mean? That could you got to be careful of the things you eat, the people you sleep with, the people around. You got to be careful of everything nowadays because the trust is like. Whew. That's why when you have these certain things in place, just knowing who you are and just having a better understanding of things, things start to make sense. Things start to make sense. Why people do what they do, why hurt people, and why happy people stay humble. Because it's like a breath of fresh air when you escape all the madness and you find yourself in a peaceful place. It's a breath of fresh air. You don't look at other people out there and just feel like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. What do you mean you're not this and that? You are this, you are that. You are whoever God puts you here to be. It don't take social media to. So what? You haven't yet found it or haven't yet showed or monetized it. So what? You're just gonna forget it right there? No, you're gonna keep working at it until you can present it. That's all. Life is about the present. Your first presentation means so much, so much, and your understanding. See, as if you should have the type of understanding where you like it comes from having different friends around as you growing up. Like like for example, if some say your homegirl is talking mad stuff in your ear about her man, but you know her man is a good man. You let it go through this ear and out the other. And when she's finished talking, you have to find yourself as a friend to break down in a way where it doesn't make her go out of whack or see things, but that she's wrong. You gotta let her know that. You got to. Because she's doing all this yibbity yap about him, her understanding, once you have that understanding of why people do what they do, it makes it a whole lot easier to read people. People think it's like this superpower. No, it's not a superpower. I'm gonna tell you where it could come from. It could come from being hurt. When somebody hurts you, if you don't like it, analyze it. Why don't you like it? You put yourself there. Why don't you like it? She popped you in the face and made all other girls laugh around you. Why didn't you like it? Because you knew they weren't your friends. You was there just trying to fit in. Why didn't you like it? They didn't have the best for you. They weren't really friends to you. So when she hit you now, that made you realize. See, understanding comes from knowing that's not my tribe. I'm gonna go over here. They not treating me the way I feel like I should be treated, so I'm gonna go over here. Even if I don't have nowhere else to go, I'm not gonna stay here in this puddle of this, because I can do better than that. Everybody should have that in them, no matter where you're from. You could be from the. That's why people say you see like all of the biggest of ghettos across the world, even back home. Like these people are the happiest people. You want to know why? Because they're not cluttered with all this outside distraction. Now it might not be the best place for them to live. Yeah, it might not be the best place, but ain't nobody out there telling them, "Oh, look how you living. Look, your bathroom is in the backyard. Oh, your windows is this. Oh, this that's America." That's why they living so happy. Whenever if you go to back home for me is Barbados. You go back to Barbados, yeah, the houses might not be the biggest of mansions like how we have in America, but I can guarantee you they're more happier than the people out here in these mansions in LA. I put money on it. I'll battle you for it. I'll battle you for your happiness. That these people are more happy. You kidding me? I know what it feels like, and I know when people are faking it. That's the difference. You can laugh and put up your face. Oh, they're Africa. They smell like they. You could do all of that, but you can't take away their happiness because when you leave, their people are celebrating. They're enjoying whatever God has for them. That's the difference. So when you look over now and you see people with less money than you having a good time, don't disrupt them people with your nonsense. Don't disrupt them people. Don't go over there and try to throw money in their face and try to tell them they ain't this or they ain't that or look down on them type of people. Because people just like you, but they have more happiness in you. You might have more money, but if you came together with them people, y'all can build something. But instead, you want to look down on people, your own people. That's usually what it is. Think about it. Who do you really try to offend when you're trying to splurt out the things that happen to you? It's usually your own people. It's usually. It's like the lowest tier of trying to like fake resolve a problem when the problem is you. If you feel like somebody, if you have to question why people are more happier with less, analyze it, figure it out, break it down. Don't just put money in front of your eyes and think that, oh, I have more money and then why I'm not happy. There's a reason for these things. It's what you value. Do you value yourself? Do you value the people around you? Because every decision you make is gonna all be for them too. The decisions you make covers everybody. That's a person without a selfish mind. Big difference. A lot of people nowadays, they'll fool you, they'll put on a costume, how they this, how they that. And really, they ain't that. They're not that. You're not even cool. You disrespect your family. You out there, your baby mother can't stand you. You ran off on the kids, but you got money? That ain't cool. What kind of cool is that? But you're going, oh, I get it. You're going to try to pay for your kid's love back. That's what happens. Yeah, you're going to try to pay for your kid. So the money you get up here, you're going to try to, okay, I'm going to X the baby mother out, and I'm just going to pay for my kid. I'm just going to fill my kid with money and just, that ain't going to do nothing to love. Because you're going to see that kid, the other kids over there with their parents over there, and they having fun in the park, and they ain't spending no money. It ain't not about money. They having fun with each other. They spending time with each other. While you over there throwing money down, and then what's going to happen? Your kid is going to be the same one with the money up to his ear on the gram. That don't ring no bell. This is how it goes. Don't you know if you're looked upon in your neighborhood as the biggest drug dealer, don't you know that when your kid gets older, when he's walking on the street, people are gonna be walking up to your kid reminding them of what his father was doing? You think that's cool? Telling them, oh, your father used to be this, your father used to be that. Yeah? That's not a legacy, man. Teaching the kid about your father's criminal that's not, because you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna want to live in those shoes. those shoes right there come with handcuffs, and we all know it. That outfit comes with a pair of handcuffs in the back. And if it's a girl, she ain't never gonna want to leave her father alone, because that's just how females are. She's gonna find her. You could put that her father in the jail in the back of the world, and that little girl will find her father. It's gonna love gonna make her find her father no matter what wrongs he did. So you gotta take some responsibility on how you present yourself. So when anybody look at you, whether it's young or old, your father, your kid, that they can say, yeah, he stand for something. That's all. That's all. You having the most money, eventually your kids are they're gonna see eventually, kids, they is it comes a point where you see who your parents are. Some people don't get to, but you see who they are. You see who your folks are. You see who they are for who they are. There's no hiding that. There's no hiding it. A lot of people like to hide. There's no hiding it. And this is no freestyle. It comes from in here. This is just the thoughts I be thinking. I'm like, don't you see? Your kid is trying to follow behind your footsteps. He just picked up a gun. You thought he was playing basketball. He had a gun. He had a gun in his bag, man. There's police outside. Your kid, he's hurt. You got to come home from work. Nobody wants to hear that news. And for what? For what? What is it all about? Money. How much? You don't know. Ask a kid. What is rich? How much is rich? How much is rich? They probably look around. Where rich at? They don't even know. They don't know what rich, wealthy. They just know that you have to have this to make this, to look like this, and to get this. That's all. Don't blame them. Blame you. That's why I said some of these parents need to stay in the school with their kids. Somebody, you dropped out in high school and you this, you that. You ain't, no. You need to go back and show them. Go somewhere, man. Because you can't let them out the house so misguided. It's ridiculous out here. I'm looking at some of these kids like, yo, they're so misguided. By the time they get to school, I mean, I'm surprised they even have enough battery in their phone by the time they get to school. They probably got to juice it up before lunch. Look, everybody I grew up with, like, I thank God. I had really, I have a really nice upbringing. Anybody from the past can always talk to me. And it just, some people get to know me in my later years of who I'm actually, am in these times. And that's cool too. But at the end of the day, you know me. My word is my word, and I stand on it. That's it. That's it. I'm standing on business. Okay, that even that's making me sick hearing that now, because people just took that and took it up. Standing on business, don't even got a damn business. That was like the weirdest one. Don't even got a business, but you standing on business. What you standing on? Anyway, you guys, if you, I had a couple more things. I might think about jumping on tonight. I'm not sure, because tonight it seemed like y'all love checking me in the morning. I could leave you guys with something, but make sure you guys, like I always say, I'm gonna leave the link to the brand down below. And support the brand Inspired by Dreamzzz. It's 3 Z's at the end, .shop. I got a lot of nice stuff there, especially the snapback hats. I'm trying to do something preppy as far as like the dresses and stuff. Trying to add some new designs in there, just keeping everybody's drip right and make you feel a little edgy with your stuff. So that's what I'm gonna be up to today. I kind of could just relax today, but I gotta do something. I want to keep myself going and just keep myself thinking and learning new stuff, man. Just learning new stuff. I want you guys to go check out this is not too nerdy to check out too, because you kind of understand the meaning. If you haven't heard, I was watching this thing, like I got up in my sleep and the TV was on, and Terrence Howard was talking about the math system, that just the mathematical system, and how he started with the 1 times 1, it's not one. And he just, the way he broke it down as far as just bringing the whole universe and the earth into it, you guys really got to go check that out and just try to figure things out for yourself. Don't automatically like throw people away, automatically boot out other people's thoughts, because what we have today, what we see in front of us, has been presented to us. Always remember that. And there's always more to learn. There's more stuff out there that we as a people, even the smartest people that we think are the smartest people, don't even know yet. You could be the next to discover that stuff from just a small things, solving small problems makes you end up solving bigger ones. And I leave you guys with that, man. You guys, man, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Love you guys always. You know it's hard out here in these YouTube streets. It's your boy Mickey Fenty, aka Mickey Made It. Love you guys. Keep that good energy for the day. Enjoy your day. I'll see you guys soon. Love.